Have you ever experienced faulty inputs in your system? Our plugin offers the solution for precise and reliable inputs. Learn how to improve your system's user-friendliness. And these are the highlights. The plugin allows you flexible validation of all input fields through precise regular expressions, complemented by freely creatable custom fields and clear groups. You can also configure individual info texts and error messages to ensure customers always receive clear and helpful guidance. And now we come to a small demo. We are now on the homepage of the Shopware administration. To create a new input field for registration, we navigate to Settings, then to Extensions, and finally to Customer Input Field. Several options are available there. First, we want to create a new input field. To do this, we click on Custom Input Fields and go to Add. First, we enter an internal name. In our example, this is the legal form. Then we set the type of save and the entity to which the field should be added. Additionally, we enter a technical name. You can then activate the input field, add rules, and assign a priority. Now we come to the display settings. Here we can choose where this field should appear on the page. In our example, we want the field to be shown above the address section. Then we can assign a title and a placeholder text. However, we don't need this in this example since we choose radio button as the functionality. Various types are available here, such as email, checkbox, switch, and so on. Then we click on Save, and thus we have created an input field. For the radio button, we now need to define several selectable options. To do this, open the Input Field Options section and then click on Add to create a new entry. Just like before, we first need to enter an internal ID. We start with the first option, which in this case is a limited, and assign the appropriate name. Next, we assign the option to an input field. In our case, this is the customer legal form. Then we click on Save and the first option has been successfully added. Any number of options can now be added. In our example, we have included several legal forms, specifically PLC, LP, GP, and sole trader. In the next step, the visibility of input fields can also be restricted. To do this, we click on Visibility Restrictions and then on Add. In our example, we want to restrict the visibility of the legal form field and select it here. The field we use to control visibility is, in this case, the customer type. We want the legal form field to appear only when the customer type has been set to entrepreneur. After selecting this condition, we simply click Save to apply the configuration. Additionally, input fields can be grouped. To do this, we click on Group of Input Fields and then on Add to create a new group. We want to create a group of input fields specifically for entrepreneur information and assign an internal name to this purpose. We set the group to active, and additionally, a priority can be set here. Next, we enter a heading that should be displayed above the group of input fields. Finally, we select the input fields that should be displayed under this group. In our case, these are the input fields legal form and VAT number. Now we click on Save, and thus we have created a group. Input fields can also be validated using regular expressions. For this, we choose any input field, in our case the VAT number, and navigate down to Expert Mode. We activate it, and at this point we can store a regular expression. Additionally, we define an error message that will be shown if the VAT number does not match the required format. Then we click on Save to apply the validation settings. Lastly, you have the option to animate input fields. For this, we go to Further Settings and activate the option to activate floating labels on input fields. Let's take a look at the whole thing in the front end. Here we see our custom input field customer type. If we select the option Entrepreneur, our previously created group company information appears with the two input fields VAT number and legal form. If you click on the VAT number field, you see the input field animation. And if you now enter an invalid VAT number, the corresponding error message appears. Optimize the appearance and functionality of your forms. Increase the reliability and user-friendliness of your system. Start now with our plugin and experience the difference. If you have questions, suggestions, or support requests, you can contact our top-notch support team via account.shopware.com